Let us understand how memories are requested by the pods whenever we are setting the limits using request and limits. For understanding purpose, I have started a minikube and it is in the running state. Let's check the status of the nodes. kubectl get nodes. So this particular Kubernetes is using a single node minikube cluster. To work with the memory assignment, we need to enable the metrics server so that we can capture the metrics values like how much amount of memory being used within the node and each individual pod we can verify. For that I am going to use minikube add-ons enable metrics server. Once enabled, we can check whether it is enabled or not using the kubectl command kubectl get API services. Here the metrics servers is enabled. As of now, don't worry about this missing endpoints. That shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to use this specific YAML file where I will be creating a container with the image polinux/stress, where I can artificially create a stress for the CPUs or for the memory by providing the arguments. For example, in this particular case, it will be creating a container with a request of 150 MB. And for the resources, I will be adding the request memory as 100 megabytes, and for limits, I will be adding the memory as 200 megabytes. As we discussed earlier, request, while the pod is getting created, that particular amount of capacity will be requested. So in this case, it will be requesting 100 megabytes. And limit is whenever the load on that particular pod is getting increased, and if there is a demand for the memory, it can scale up vertically and can go up to 200 megabytes. Any utilization beyond 200 megabytes, the kernel will be terminating that particular service saying the limit is only 200 megabytes. And once the pod is created with 100 megabytes, I will be creating the VM with the load of 150 MB. And for demo purpose, I am going to create a new namespace, kubectl create namespace mem-example. And I will use the same YAML file where I will be giving the name as memory-demo-ctr, and it will be using the namespace mem-example, the one that we created now, and it will be creating a pod with the request of 100 megabytes. Once the pod is created, the container within that will be creating a load, or it will be artificially simulating saying it demands 150 MB. And this VM hang one, what it will do, it will not release the memory since it is an artificial request. Once the usage is done, generally the VMs will try to release the memory once its purpose is over. We wanted that to exist forever. That means the utilization of 150 MB to be simulated as being used forever. So we will be passing the flag as 1 and it will be simulating with one virtual machine. I'll be applying this particular file. This is available as a part of the k8s.io website. I can use it directly with the command kubectl apply -f and then the location and within this specific namespace. Now let's get the pods within the namespace, and I can give the specific pod name as well to look at the details of this specific pod. The container is getting created. Let me watch the status. I can use another command called top to check how much memory being utilized within that specific pod. kubectl top pod name and then within the specific namespace. The top command will work only if the metric server is enabled. Let me check the status of the pod. Let's watch. Yes, the pod is created. Now we can describe the pod as well as the node to see how much memory being utilized. Let me use the describe command kubectl describe pod and then the name of the pod and see how much memory being utilized. So here it will be requesting 150 MB and the limit, as we said within the YAML file, is 200 MB, and the request while initially starting it will be requesting 100 MB. We can even verify the memory utilization within the nodes using the command kubectl describe nodes. So here we can very clearly verify this memory example for within the namespace memory demo is requested 100 MB and the limit is 200 MB. And overall how much is requested and what is the limit that we can verify over here. That is, this is at the node level. Since the memory requested or the limit is less than the container, as well as the load getting created within the pod is less than the limits, the pod will continue to run. For some reason, if the load getting created is greater than the limits, or if it is greater than what is available within the node may not get created. If it is created with lesser load and later when it is exceeding the limit, it will get terminated. We can also log into the pod using the bash shell and check whether the stress is getting executed and how much memory it is consuming. For that I am going to use kubectl exec command and wanted to execute in the interactive mode against the memory-demo pod within the namespace mem-example and execute the bash shell. I am into the bash shell of memory-demo pod. Here I can give the top command and see the individual processes. So here this particular stress is creating a stress of 150 MB. Here we can very clearly say the 150 MB is being utilized by this particular command. And this is the command as such, it's executing and it is consuming around 750 bytes for it to run. Now let me delete the pod. Yes, the pod is deleted.